For Guapish at the Movies this week, we watch the 1968 Planet of the Apes starring Charlton Heston. I'm just going to start off because I have a feeling I'm the biggest fan of this movie. So I'm very biased. I love this movie. I think it's one of the greatest sci-fi stories in cinema. It is revolutionary. It is important. It is also very good. It still holds up to this day. The costumes, they're not like... The costumes are very good for being 1968. Like, the fact that the mouths move and you can see their eyes and shit, like, actually helps them hold up and whatever. You got so many classic lines from this movie. You got, "Get your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty apes." Mm-hmm. You got fucking, what... I feel like there's a third one, but my brain's just jumping to the very end.
Unfortunate.
Well, whatever, you know. I think it's a classic sci-fi story. You know, everyone loves this movie. And, you know, that's all I got to say about it.
Tanner, if it's so good and revolutionary as you claim it to be, then why didn't Dylan even know it's a classic?
I don't know. I can only assume he's led a very sheltered life, I guess, where he just doesn't absorb information at all.
His mom hated Planet of the Apes. She hid it from him all these years.
No monkeys for you.
His mom is deathly afraid of monkeys.
Now, Tanner, if you had to guess, before you hopped into the fucking Discord chat while we were watching the film, how many racially charged jokes do you think Jackson made?
Hey now, let's not go into this topic.
That Jackson made? I'm gonna say 0. You made maybe a couple.
Oh, Nico was blasting them out. He was rattling them out like a machine gun. Every time the black guy was on screen, he was cranking something out.
That's not true.
Let him cook.
I mean, I was definitely cranking something out. It wasn't racially charged jokes, though.
Right.
Now, Blake,
but what
how
did you
feel
think of
about
the
this
movie, Nico?
I asked Blake first, Tanner.
Ow.
I mean, I thought it was like, it looked pretty good for the time, and I don't know, I guess it has kind of a Star Trek look to it, but...
Like, what about the plot?
You know, it's kind of as you'd expect, I think. Relatively simple, I guess.
The movie had monkeys in it. It's an A tier at least for me.
Can't go wrong with monkeys.
Dude, the sound design of this film was fucking nuts, I will say.
It was insane. It was so hard to listen to at some parts. It's just crazy.
Yeah, I had a hard time hearing a lot of parts of it. Well, I mean, I was watching it.
I feel like that may have more to do with the method by which we watched it, but...
Yeah, their sound effects were something to behold, to say the least.
What do you mean by that? Like, what's a specific example you're referring to?
I can't think of anything because I have the worst memory of all time, but there was like a couple of moments where it's just like random loud noises going on in the background.
Yeah, exactly. A great example of that. At the very beginning of the film, when they're like getting out of their little space pods or whatever, and they look over at their dead crewmate, it's like, just like that thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, just like ear rapes you out of nowhere. There's like 3 moments in the movie where they just blast your eardrums out for no reason. Just absurdly loud.
They need to know shit is crazy.
Yeah, how are you supposed to know that they're surprised to see that the person is dead if it doesn't fucking blast you right
Yeah,
then?
it doesn't sound like a grenade went off in your ears.
I'd say generally, though, it was a pretty good film. It was a tad slow for my liking. However, I do understand that, like, you know, it's not war for the Planet of the Apes or, like, anything quite yet. So we're not getting to those action-packed set pieces. It's just, like, you know, it's a fun little romp in this strange world this man is trying to figure out. I don't know, though, Tanner. I don't know. It definitely had some issues here and there for me. Namely, the sound design was a big one. This was a very, very quiet film as well, and most of it. I definitely feel like it could have used with, like, I don't know, just like a little bit of background music here and there, you know?
Yeah, some strings or something.
Yeah, just something to liven things up a lot, dude.
I think it's just like a product of the time, because it definitely seems like that era of movies, because Lolita that we saw, that was like a very similarly designed movie, it felt like, as well. Just like, it's just really, it's like almost, I kind of liked it. It's like very different than what movies are right now, where it's like everything's super information dense, and this one was kind of like sparse and let you hear things more. So I don't even know if I'd say that's a con, but I definitely wasn't a huge fan of the pacing. It definitely was a pretty slow movie overall. A lot of drawn out scenes.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what I thought.
Okay.
I will say it is very similar to Nacho Libre in that way. For some reason, that film is so quiet, especially at the start, and I don't get it. This is supposed to be like an action-packed comedy with your guy Nacho Libre himself. Why is it so fucking quiet, Tanner?
It's because Mexico is quiet, obviously.
That's not true.
I mean, when you're just out in the fucking desert, it is.
Why am I not hearing
No,
some
it's
like
not,
maracas
Tanner. There's
while they're
constantly
walking?
mariachi music playing.
I mean, when there's a mariachi band on screen, of course.
They should have
There
one
should
falling
always be
around.
mariachi bands playing in Mexico, Tanner.
Gotcha, okay.
Have like some chickens in the background or something, some
I
cars
think
revving up
we're
their
getting a
big
little
ol'-
lost in the weeds right now.
Look, Tanner, I know you're not going to pick Nacho Libre anytime soon, so I need to get these complaints in while I can.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think we said it when we were watching the movie, but the costumes honestly weren't terrible. Like I expected them to be a lot worse than what they were. I think the kissing was super goofy looking.
The kissing was bad. Yeah,
was-
they shouldn't have even attempted that, frankly.
Yeah, that was rough, but the actual costumes themselves were not terrible at all. Like for what they had to work with back then, pretty decent.
Yeah, you know, the mouths move and everything. I can only imagine those costumes were unbelievably uncomfortable because, like, the person's actual eyeball was actually, like, lined up correctly, which means they must have had to put, like, glue around the person's eyelids to keep the mask stuck there.
Yeah, it was a rough life for those actors.
What'd you guys think of the Babe?
Oh, she was a hottie, dude. I was a big fan.
I just cannot get over that the lead actor looks like one of my coworkers, and the babe also looks like one of my old coworkers. And it's funny
That's
too
crazy.
because they're constantly hitting on each other as well. Like it doesn't
good.
make sense. It was like they're just like both of my coworkers, but just +2s in the like 1 to 10 rating.
It was
Right.
predestined.
They should see this movie. I need to show them.
There
Yeah,
you
just
go.
message them out of the blue. Hey, watch the original Planet of the Apes.
You need to see
Yeah,
this.
what are we rating it, boys?
We're already moving on to that process. Who, Nelly? I guess I'll go first. I guess I'll give it like I don't know, maybe like a B.
Alright, B. Oh, by the way, Dylan gave this an A, so
Not
One
what
A,
I would have
one B.
expected at all. He was complaining a lot throughout the
Yeah,
film.
he was not enjoying it from what it seemed like. His opinions on movies are very, very surprising.
yeah, I get. Maybe he only critiques the things he loves, except for Godzilla King of the Monsters.
That doesn't count.
Jackson, what would you rank this movie?
Oh gosh, I'm probably pretty similar to Nico. I'd say at least like 1 rank higher there, like B+.
Okay. Blake, how about you?
I'll give it a B. Like especially for the time. They just had what they had.
Okay, I'm giving this movie an S.
Brutal.
I think this is an S rank movie. Okay, so let's
average her out.
let's figure out where that lands. Where's my fucking sheet? Here it is. So we got 2 B's, a B+, an A, and an S.
Whatever that means.
That feels like a B+ to me.
I feel like my S raises it to an A-.
I would agree. I think we should always side with people going higher rating. We need to make this
Like,
less
what say you?
objective.
B+ or an A-?
Between an A, a B+ or an
Yeah, what say you?
A. I would say B.
Brutal.
Well, hold on a second. We like if we're gonna contest this, let's at least get scientific about it. You know,
Scientific.
Okay,
Do the
okay.
math, man. Determine what point value goes to every single rating. Average them out.
yeah.
Calculator.
Jackson, you're a math whiz. You go for it,
No,
dude.
I'm not.
You're the biggest math whiz of everyone here, though.
What are you talking about? Tanner's like so much better at math than me.
That's not true.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna list off some numbers. You guys keep track of them. All right, so 1 + 1
2,
2,
+ 2
4,
+ 4
8.
+ 7
Oh gosh. 15.
15,
divided by 5.
No way. 3?
5.
All right, A-. That was real math, by the way. You can go look at that one yourself. I'm not fucking
You're
around,
lying.
okay?
This is rigged.
No. It's 100% real. See, the B was worth 1 point because that's the lowest one it got, and the S was worth 7, and then I just added up the ranks it got and then averaged
Why are
it.
you skewing the axes here? What's going on with this?
Yeah.
What do you mean skewing the axes?
So you're cutting out the lower y-axis to make it biased towards a higher rating.
There is no y-axis here. There is a single axis.
The y-axis is the rating scale from like F to S, and the x-axis is in fact.
Well, we don't need to calculate all of the ones that have no rankings in them at all.
Dude, if we do it this way, that way, I can take this data and make a scientific model and do predictions of what we can rate movies based on this.
I don't think that's true anyway. Thank you for Guapish at the movies.
Hang on.
Fucking Planet of the Apes A-.